instruction of the spiritual master is fully loaded with potency, which is a relief to the burning heart. I know my spiritual master wrote many books, and one of them is Solace at Difficult Times. Solace in the heart at difficult times. This verse. It is this verse he used to write the whole book. Solace in the heart for difficult times. So the spiritual master's instruction is fully loaded with the potency to clean the heart from all unnecessary, all distresses, all difficult, anything, all varieties will be trashed out by the powerful instruction of the spiritual master. Therefore, a fortunate disciple should never disobey. When it is said, the instruction of the spiritual master is my life and soul, that's what it means, because it had the potency to release us from all miseries. He's giving the instruction for our own good, considering exactly what we need. So he's giving a medicine, just like a doctor. A doctor gives medicine to the patient based on the disease the patient is having. So instruction is to cure us. So if we obey that, we'll be successful in our Christian consciousness. And you see in our scriptures, in Bhagavatam, in the 4th canto, you'll see Prithu Maharaj carried the instruction of his Guru on the head. Our Srila Prabhupada carried the instruction of his spiritual master on his head. Means that they executed it. The instruction on the head means they executed the instruction. And what is the result of that? What is the result of Prabhupada carrying the instruction of his master and spiritual master and executing it? What is the result? The whole world is chanting Hare Krishna. That is the result. So if we carry the spiritual master's instruction, we'll experience the potency of the instruction of the spiritual master is inside the instruction. It will become manifest when we accepted it fully from the heart. Then that potency will give us intelligence how to execute it. If it is not accepted, we will never have the potency to execute it. First, it must be accepted fully, without doubt, without the interpretation. The potency will give the intelligence, the direction, or all the facilities to do it. That is the secret. If the instruction is not accepted, we will never have the means, the way, the potency, the experience, the intelligence to do it. It is the instruction that carried the potency to help us execute it. But for it to manifest, we must accept it fully. Gurudev, this is not possible. Then it will not manifest. Prabhupada told disciple in America, not in India, in America, go and post a letter. Prabhupada, this is not India, this is Sunday. There's no post. Post doesn't open on Sunday. Go and post the letter. When they went to post office, what happened? They posted the letter. The letter was posted. That is the power of the spiritual master's instruction. So Arjuna is teaching us this. 28 and 29, the result of text 27. What is the result of 27? It manifested in 28 and 29. Arjuna said what? And mind became pacified. The mind became pacified. This is solace in the heart. The solace. Bhakti increased while remembering Krishna. That is 28 and 29. That is how do you say? The point in these two verses. The point in these two verses is what? Arjuna's mind became pacified by following the instruction, his bhakti increased while he was remembering Krishna. That's the purport of 28 and 29. Since the Lord is absolute, deep meditation upon him is as good as yogic trance. The Lord is not different from his name, form, quality, pastimes, entourage, and specific actions. Arjuna began to think of the Lord's instructions to him on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Only those instructions began to eliminate the tinges of material contamination in the mind of Arjuna. This is following the instructions, the result of following the instructions. All the troubles in the heart became destroyed. Arjuna's bhakti is increasing as he remembers Krishna. That is meditation on Krishna. You meditate on Krishna, meditation brings realization. If you don't contemplate, you can never realize anything. If you want to realize something, it comes from contemplation, by deep meditation. Realization will come. The intelligence, the strength, the potency to do something will come by contemplation, meditation. Only those instructions began to eliminate the tinges of material contamination in the mind of Arjuna. I'll probably give an example of the sun. Yes, the feeling of separation from the Lord is undoubtedly painful to the devotee, but because it is what? In connection with the Lord, it has a specific transcendental effect which pacifies the heart. Feelings of separation are also sources of transcendental bliss, and they are never comparable to contaminating material feelings of separation. Material feelings of separation is sinful. It is material. That is what Kunti Devi was trying to say. Remove this from the family. Her children are all devotees. She would not say there is no guilt association with devotees. Kunti will not pray like that. He's praying, remove the material mundane association, even in the family. Remove all of that. Leave only the pure association. That's what I want. Let us not forget. Remembering Krishna means what? Destruction of all impurities in the heart. That is how to plant Krishna in the heart. When the devotee speaks, it enters the ear, comes to the heart. And the devotee continues to meditate on what you have heard. That is purification. And this is Krishna consciousness. This is how Krishna is planted in the heart. If we do not hear, the cleansing will not take place. It means that Krishna is not planted. Or means that the instruction falls on the rock or in the water. If the instruction falls on the fertile soil, it will sprout, it will germinate and bring out the result. Means what? Our hearts should be fertile for the Guru to plant Krishna in. Shukadev Goswami planted Krishna in the heart of Maharaj Parikshit through hearing. And the Muni planted Krishna in the heart of Rukmini Devi through hearing. She didn't see Krishna. Bhattichar Maharaj said, love at first hearing. That is Rukmini Devi. She developed love at first hearing. She developed love. Bhattichar Maharaj said, so let us have this experience. Let us have this experience by following our chariots. In the beginning, in the morning, we said that we should not study this book and remain the same. We should study our Bhagavatam to become transformed. And this will take place if we follow what we are discussing. Please don't forget text 24. Purport. Don't forget it. And the subsequent verses we're going through. So that is 28. Now listen to 29. Listen to 29. Arjuna's constant remembrance of the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna rapidly, what? Increase his devotion. And as a result of the trash in his thought, subsided. If we hear the potent word of a sadhu, all abhadranis will be destroyed. That is the purpose of speaking. And you know, a sadhu, by his ability to destroy the abhadranis in the heart, if we are hearing properly, miracle must take place. We cannot be the same. See what is happening to Arjuna. It is a true confession from his practical experience. This will become our experience. In Bhagavad Gita, the same thing Arjuna said. 1873. 1873. What did Arjuna say? 1873. Nastamaham labdha. Yes, that is hearing. That is hearing. Because in 72, Krishna asked Arjuna, did you hear me with an attentive mind? Look at the word Krishna put his word. Krishna didn't say, did you hear me? Krishna didn't say that. He said, did you hear what? Did the man hear, or our body is just sitting in the class? And Krishna qualified that. If the man hears what I was teaching you, what will happen? What will happen? Your illusion will be destroyed. 73. I just said, yes, it is true. My illusion is gone. And I have regained my strength. What is the proof? I'm ready to do whatever you tell me to do. This is a person who didn't want to act for. Now, the desire to act is burning in the sin because the heart has become purified. Vasudevangriya anu dhyana paribrinhita ramhasa bhaktya nirma tilasesa kasaya dish sanu Arjuna. Bhaktya. Ramhasa Bhaktya. Devotion is what? Increasing in the heart. By remembering the instructions Krishna is giving, the instruction the spiritual master is giving. All the Badranis, Badrashus will be destroyed. And the result of the destruction of all unnecessary things in the heart is the Bhakti for Krishna is increasing. That's the purpose of hearing. If we hear from Krishna, we will experience two things. If we hear about Krishna from the sadhu, two things will come. If you really hear, what will happen? All unnecessary, inauspicious things about Rani will be destroyed. And Bhakti will generate in the heart. That's the process. So we should hear attentively. The result of hearing is that we will practice what we hear. If we don't hear, we will not practice anything. So we're not hearing, that's my experience. We're not hearing. Therefore, we're not practicing. Everything is just a show, just a routine. Understand the routine? You're repeating the same thing, no change in quality. That's routine. Now, we should hear the same thing but different experience. That is hearing. Different things, different realizations will come. We're not going to change Hare Krishna mantra. But the more you chant, the better the mantra becomes. Sweeter, sweeter. Right? Not change. We're not going to change Bhagavatam about Gita. It's absolute. But the more we read properly, if you do prayerful reading, If you do prayer for it, you will see that you get the same, you get new and new and newer experiences. January this year, I was going to discuss about what time with the devotees. So I told devotees, just give me the chapters, let me read before I come. You've been teaching this for years now. I said yes. Every time I read it, because everything I get something new. And what I'm saying now, if you ask me to repeat it, it will be different from what you're hearing now. It will be different, not be the same. I won't say the same thing, it will be different. Because it is new. It is new. So I'm not tired. I'm not tired to read the same thing. I'm not tired. Because it's not the same thing. Every time is new. Something must come out. Something. Yes. They accumulate due to our reactions to material desires. But when we get in touch with the transcendental Lord in his variegated energies, by devotional service, the naked forms of all material desire become manifest, and the intelligence of the living being is pacified in its true color. As soon as Arjuna turned his attention towards the instructions of the Lord, what happened? They are, as they are inculcated in the Bhagavad Gita, his true color of eternal association with the Lord became manifest, and thus he felt freed from all material contaminations. 30 and 31 is Arjuna's situation. What is Arjuna's situation? What is his situation after this? After the 100 crucified, 30, 31. What is his situation? Because of those pastimes and activities, and because of his absence, it appeared that Arjuna forgot the instructions led by the personality of Godhead. But factually, this was not the case. And again, he became Lord of his senses. This importance of hearing. Yes. Arjuna had no desire to fight with his relatives, but he fought for the mission of the Lord. He was always engaged in the execution of his mission only. And therefore, after the Lord's departure, he remained in the same transcendental position, even though it appeared that he forgot all the instructions of the Bhagavad Gita. One should therefore adjust the activities of life in pace with the mission of the Lord. And by doing this, one is sure to return back home, back to Godhead. This is the highest perfection of life. We should do what? Many devotees are trying to adjust back the Krishna consciousness to their style. This is sinful. They will not succeed. We should not try to adjust Bhakti to suit with our own nonsense. We shall adjust ourselves to feel with the presence of Bhakti. And we'll make advancement. This was proper teaching. One should therefore adjust the activities of life in pace with the mission of the Lord. We should adjust ourselves to fit into the process. If our situation is perfect, then we should not be here. If we are here, then we should try to fit into the process. We should not adjust it to suit our own situation. That is wrong, and this is going on. It is very sinful. Very sinful. We should not do that. We should follow what is already given, because it has been perfectly calculated. Sukadeva Goswami, he used the word nearing the term. Nearing the term means it has been decided. It is concluded. No experiment here. Experiment has already been done. We simply have to follow it. Because of his possessing spiritual assets, the doubt or duality were completely cut off. Thus he was freed from the three-mode material nature and placed in transcendence. There was no longer any chance of his becoming entangled in birth and death, for he was freed from material form. Doubts of duality begin from the misconception of the body and the material body, which is accepted as a self by less intelligent persons. The most foolish part of our ignorance is our identifying this material body with the self. Therefore, we should hear attentively so that our situation will change. As soon as Arjuna took up the instructions of the Bhagavad Gita, expert as he was, he could at once eradicate the material conception of Krishna, his eternal friend. He could realize that the Lord was still present before him by his instruction, by his form, by his pastimes, by his activities, and everything else related to him. He could realize that Lord Krishna, his friend, was still present before him by his transcendental presence in different non-dual energies. And there was no question of attainment of the association of the Lord by another change of body under the influence of time and space. This is an experience Arjuna is having in sharing with us what you will get by practicing, remembering the instructions received from the spiritual master. Let us practice. And to practice, we should hear attentively. By attainment of absolute knowledge, one can be in association with the Lord constantly, even in this present life, simply by hearing, chanting, thinking of and worshiping the Supreme Lord. One can see him, one can feel his presence, even in this present life, simply by understanding the Advaya Gyan Lord, or the Absolute Lord, although the process of devotional service which begins with hearing about him. So through the process of devotional service which begins with hearing about him, we will develop love at first hearing. Arjuna had attained this stage long before on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And when he apparently felt the absence of the Lord, he at once took shelter of the instructions of the Bhagavad Gita, and thus again he was placed in his original position. This is the position of Vishoka, or the stage of being freed from all grief and anxieties. Vishoka. Remembrance. Krishna from hearing. It is hearing. Arjuna became free from all difficulties. Yes. Krishna and Srila Prabhupada said we should practice chanting slokas. We should practice. Because at the time of day we remember them. And remembering them back from Bhakti. Let us practice. Now we should practice. Everything we are hearing, we should practice them. By practicing them, they will become our life and they will become our future. At time of difficulties, we will remember. And by remembering that, we'll be free. Upon hearing of Lord Krishna's returning to his abode, and upon understanding the end of the Zero dynasty's earthly manifestation, Maharaj Yudhishthira decided to go back home, back to Godhead. Because he had already practiced, so it's easy for him to decide, let me go. It's easy for him to decide that. For one who are not practiced, you cannot decide, let me go. Go to where? Our simple activities will decide where we are going, not we. If we want to decide where we should go, it is now we should do that. We should practice now what we're hearing. Then we can do like Maharaj Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yes. And Papa said, whenever the Lord likes, he can appear himself from anywhere and everywhere without disturbing his appearance and disappearance in any other place. He is like the sun. The sun appears and disappears on its own accord at any place without disturbing its presence in other places. The sun appears in the morning in India without disappearing from the Western Hemisphere. The sun is present everywhere and anywhere all over the solar system. But it so appears that in a particular place, the sun appears in the morning and also disappears at some fixed time in the evening. Because there is no death, there is no birth. It is concluded, therefore, that simply by understanding the Lord's appearance and disappearance in truth, one can attain the personal stage of eternal life. Therefore, Maharaj Yudhishthira also began to consider going back to Godhead. The Lord appears on the earth or any other mortal planet along with his associates, who live with him eternally. And the members of the Janu family who were engaged in supplementing the pastimes of the Lord are no other than his eternal associate. And so also Maharaj Yudhishthira and his brothers and mother, etc. Since their appearance and disappearance of the Lord and eternal associate are transcendental, one should not be bewildered by the external features of appearance and disappearance. 33. Kunti, after overhearing Arjuna's telling of the end of the Janu dynasty and disappearance of Lord Krishna, engaged in the devotional service of the transcendental personality of Godhead with full attention, and thus gain release from the curse of material existence. When we see the life of the Pandavas, Kunti Devi was saying, what do we see? What do we see? Miseries, suffering, no single space of peace in their life. But do you see distress in their life? You see distress? They are never distressful because they are blissful inside. What we see is external. And in the morning we're saying that Hanuman was glorifying the Pandavas. Hanuman was talking to Narada Muni, and he told Narada Muni, see, you worship who? Narayan. I, Hanuman, worship Ram. The Kumaras worship Vishnu, right? Hanuman, Narada Muni, Kumaras, they are what? Brahmacharis, eternal brahmacharis. Eternal brahmacharis. And then Hanuman says, see, the Pandavas are superior to all of us. The Pandavas are superior to us. How? They worship Krishna. They don't worship Krishna's expansion. They worship Krishna as the deity. And don't you see, Krishna left the sages in the forest to come and live with householders in a palace. Did you see that? Eh? Did you see Maharaj is a sannyasi or householder? Householder. And the sages in the forest, what are they? What are they meditating on? What are they doing in the forest there? They are searching for Krishna, right? They have lived their opulent life to go and search for Krishna. Krishna left them to come and stay with you this month. Yeah. So is that suffering? Is that suffering? I'm asking you. Huh? When Srivas Pandit's son left the body, and the wife, Srivas Pandit's wife, and other relatives, they wanted to cry. Srivas told them, do not cry here. If you are foolish, if you are so foolish that you don't understand the difference between the body and the soul, keep your foolishness until the Lord finishes dancing and is gone, then you can cry. If you cry here and the Lord stops dancing, I will commit suicide. Don't do it here. Then he joined the Kirtan. And then the time when we stop, what has happened in your house? What has happened? What has happened in the house? What did he say? My Lord, any auspicious thing has happened in the house? See what Pandit is saying. Looking at your face, where, how can inauspicious thing exist where one is looking at your lotus face? Where is the inauspicious things on your face? Lord Krishna lotus face. Lord Krishna lotus face is full of auspiciousness, beauty, and sweetness. That these three qualities make Krishna's face. Krishna's face is composed of auspiciousness, beauty, and sweetness. So Srila said, who can look at this and feel distress? Where? How can distress exist in a place where your lotus face is present and you are having kirtan? Where is question of inauspiciousness? That cannot happen. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, okay, that is very good realization. But tell me what has happened. Then he didn't speak. Someone said, Srivas Pandit's son has disappeared. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looked at Srivas and said, you did not know distress because of me. From today, you purchase me. Is that inauspicious? Is that distress? Today, you have purchased me. One son has left. Now you have two sons. Is that inauspicious? Who are the two sons of Srivas Pandit? Itai, Gauranga. Is that inauspicious? So when we see the Pandava's life, look behind what is happening behind all the external things which we see. Lord Krishna is constantly with them. Is that inauspicious? Is that bad? Huh? That's what Kunti Devi prayed. I want what? To come again and again, because calamity means remembering you again and again, and remembering you means you are always with us. Is that inauspicious? Is that distress? Huh? What is the perfection of life? To have Krishna constantly with us. So pure devotees, they pray not to be separated from Krishna for any moment. Biba Manga Thakura in prayer, the last prayer he said, my dear Lord, wherever my eyes go, wherever my ears go, wherever my feet go, whatever I turn to, let it be only you. Only you. It is pure love, Krishna. This is what they get. In such a situation, there is nothing which is inauspicious. It is concluded, therefore, that simply by understanding the Lord's appearance and disappearance in truth, one can attain the professional stage of eternal life. Yeah, that's the conclusion. And Maharaj Yudhishthira wants to go back to Godhead. And Kunti Devi, the mother, is following the same footstep. The setting of the sun does not mean the end of the sun. It means that the sun is out of our sight. Similarly, the end of the mission of the Lord on a particular planet or universe only means that he is out of our sight. The end of the Jadu dynasty also does not mean that it is annihilated. It disappears along with the Lord out of our sight. They have gone to do the same thing in another universe. So it's eternal. The abode of the Lord is not a myth, as is taught by the unbelievers or ignorant people. But one cannot reach there by any material means like a Sputnik or space capsule. But one can certainly reach there after leaving this present body, and one must prepare himself to go back to Godhead by practicing devotional service. That guarantees a passport for going back to Godhead, and Kunti Devi adopted it. We should also adopt the process. Let us adopt this process. The Supreme Unborn, Lord Sri Krishna, caused the members of the Jadu dynasty to relinquish their bodies, and thus he relieved the burden of the world. This action was like picking out a thorn with a thorn, though both are the same to the controller. Wonderful. The Lord and his eternal associate appeared on earth to help the administrative demigods in eradicating the burden of the world. He therefore called for some of the confidential demigods to appear in the Jadu family and serve him in his great mission. After the mission was fulfilled, the demigods, by the will of the Lord, relinquished their corporal bodies by fighting among themselves in the madness of intoxication. Therefore, the example of picking out a thorn by another thorn is quite befitting. One thorn which causes pinpricks on the legs of the Lord is certainly disturbing to the Lord, and the other thorn which takes out the disturbing element certainly gives service to the Lord. What does that mean? What does it mean? What is the meaning? Do you understand? Yes, bro. Mike is.
I think this is in relation of the Yadu dynasty.
Yes.
Because that could become the burden on the earth. So with the help of one Yadus or one group of the people, Krishna destroyed others. Like this one.
Very good. Something. Yeah.
And this may also pertain to the living entities. Those who become his devotees, they please the Lord. And those who are not devotees, they are asuras, they displease the Lord.
Very good. Asuras and asuras. Thank you. Yeah. So although every living being is a part and parcel of the Lord, still one who is a pinprick to the Lord is called an Asura. And one who is a voluntary servitor of the Lord is called Devata or demigods. Both of them are under the control of the Lord. The world is full of two kinds of living beings, and the Lord's mission is always to protect the Devatas and destroy the Asuras whenever there is such a need in the world, and to do good to both of them. That is very good. The Supreme Lord relinquished the body which he manifested to diminish the burden of the earth. Just like a magician, he relinquishes one body to accept different ones, like the fish incarnation and others. The Supreme Lord, personality of Godhead, is neither impersonal nor formless, but his body is not different from him, and therefore he is known as the embodiment of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. In the Brihad Vaishnava Tantra, it is clearly mentioned that anyone who has the form of Lord Krishna to be made of material energy must be ostracized by all means. And if by chance the face of such an infidel is seen, one must clean himself by jumping in the river with his clothing. It's very, very dangerous. They are contaminated. That is why, yes.
From the previous verse,
Yes.
In some cases we find that the devotees, they go back to God in their same body, the same material body. And in some cases, Krishna is struggling so much to kill their bodies and then take them back. So what's the process of this, determination? Who will go with the body, who will go without body?
That depends on who the person is with the Lord. Who the personality is with the Lord. Whatever it is, leaving the body or not leaving the body, the most important thing is, what is the destination? Where are we going? That's the most important thing. Say, if one is going to quit the body and go back to Godhead, and another one is not quitting the body, just go back to God, it's the same place we're going. So what's the problem? Yes, sir.
As per this statement, we are staying in Avanti, Ujjain, as a god of Mayavadi. So we need to take 3-4 times jump in the river. So is it practical? Okay, now practical instruction, like some other
Yes. Now I was jumping to the river with our clothes to Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, perfect. You have jumped in the river with the mantra. Yeah, complete. Yes. Yes, sir.
And this translation is mentioned that he relinquishes one body to accept different one, like a fish incarnation and others.
Yes.
So Krishna's word is transcendental.
Yes.
Why it is needed and one body to another.
Prabhupada explained it in the purport. The answer is here in the purport. In the purport, Prabhupada said, explain everything. I was trying to I have gone through the purport very, very carefully, all through. And Prabhupada said, factually, the magician himself is neither burnt to ashes nor cut to pieces. nor is he dead or unconscious at any stage of his magical demonstration. Similarly, the Lord has his eternal forms of unlimited variety, of which the fifth incarnation was, as was exhibited within this universe, is also one. Because there are because there are innumerable universes. Somewhere or other, the fifth incarnation must be manifesting his pastime without cessation. In this case, in this verse, the particular word that they eternally accepted, and not the word ditwa accepted for the occasion, is used. The Lord has left here to appear the other side, the same person. Not that he died. Right? Usually, like in 2 minutes, all of us are going to leave this room, right? We enter another room. Would any person cry? Why? Why not? Why will not cry? Because I know that you are in another room. That's what we consider death. You leave this room and enter that room. That's all. So nobody will feel it. Nobody will cry over it. So it is only ignorance that makes one to feel like that. The idea is that the Lord does not create the fifth incarnation. He eternally has such a form, and the appearance and disappearance of such an incarnation serve particular purposes. In the Bhagavad Gita 7:24-25, the Lord says, the impersonalists think that I have no form, that I am formless, but that at present I have accepted the form to serve a purpose, and now I am manifested. But such speculators are factually without sharp intelligence. When Dhira shot Krishna at the foot, the yogis, they saw him entering their hand. The monists, they saw him become Brahman, merge into Brahman. The devotee, they saw him yes. So different perceptions is there. So Krishna used the same thing to cheat many people based or to benefit people according to how we see him. So he's cheating. He's cheating for those who consider him to be Brahman. He's just formless, only light. They will see him like that. The same thing when he appeared at the campus arena. People see this differently. This is what Krishna does. And you see, Krishna's form constantly changes. If Krishna is going to play with the gopis, that form is different. That form Krishna is using to dance with the gopis is different. When Krishna is coming with the cowherd boys to come and lead the cows, that form is different. Krishna's body changes, even for a particular pastime. Krishna's form changes. Krishna is taking, Rupa Swami is describing Krishna. Lord Krishna wanted a pastime with the gopis and the Vanavasis, but the Vanavasis and the master Brenda Devi, they have prepared a very beautiful, super excellent kunj. And Krishna came there and took a Simati. They are going there. The place is completely different. The form Krishna manifests is different from the form he uses. That's why there are many gopis. Different.
When Kurukshetra also, 125 years old, he's studying West.
That form is different. That is Madhupati. It's different from Brajendra Nanda. That form is different. Yadu Kumara is different. Yadu Kumara is different. Dorka, different. Madhupati is also different. And Brajendra Nandan is different. Even within the Brajendra Nandan form, there are different changes in his form. Different. That is Krishna. So we will see him according to our level. According to our level, we will see like that. Thank you very much, Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Sri Krishna Bhagavan ki. Hare Krishna. This is not from the Govinda restaurant in Ujjain. This is from the J factory. From the factory, you just get it. See the aroma is different.